The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign, trusted by over 500 NFL players for their winning smiles. And broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your host, Nicole Hutchison.
Wake up, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign in the SWBC studio. I'm Nicole Hutchison alongside Brianna Aldridge, Aisha Morrison. Good morning.
Morning.
How y'all doing? It's okay. It died a little bit. Wake up!
Wake up. Wake
Wake up!
guys. Good morning.
You have the real thing in the flesh. So
Wake up!
it's no big deal. That's what I'm here for.
3 wake ups back to back.
Chris
back.
keep playing Wake Up. It's like a little mixtape. A little Wake Up mixtape. Would you like that?
Yeah, my cousin produces. We'll see if she can.
Really?
Let's see if she'll make a little mix for you.
I can really rap him right.
We're gonna drop a mixtape.
I might.
Yeah, it's a fact. It's a fact.
What's yours?
Wake up!
That's not how it sounds.
Barnacles. The drop's gonna be barnacles.
That's sick.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if it's gonna bop like that.
Barnacles.
It's a little bit better.
We need a hook.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. Anyways,
We'll put Chris on the hook.
yeah, that part.
I'm great.
Well, while we're figuring that out, the Cowboys got a lot to figure out because that injury report was lengthy yesterday. Aisha, what do you have for the injury report today? There we go.
It's looking like a what is it at the beginning of a book? The table of
Introduction?
contents.
Oh,
It's long.
Baby.
Normally I type it out. When I tweeted it out and tagged the station, I was like, it's too long to type today. So
can you just take a picture?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna get through the did not practice humans. Tyler Booker with the ankle did not practice, but it does sound like he's trending in the right direction. CeeDee Lamb, same with what Schottenheimer said yesterday, is that he feels like they're trending in the right direction. I think you can sit his tail somewhere else for a while. Jack Sanborn is still in concussion protocol. He did not practice yesterday. Cavante Turpin dealing with the foot. Sounds like you ladies, I saw you ladies send out some information saying that he was very vocal and honest about the fact that he probably won't go this week. I think you can manage without him this week. Donovan Wilson is dealing with the elbow/knee. That feels huge for that safety room. So we might see some changes there depending on how things are later in the week.
Let's stop right there.
Barnacles.
Yeah,
All right,
let's start with-
okay, great.
Stop with the do not participate guys yesterday.
4 or 5.
I'm screaming.
Sorry, I had to count.
It's okay. Cavante Turpin, got a chance to catch up with him in locker room. I feel like he even told me that he's going to be back. Well, he's expecting to be back next week. I've also heard that CeeDee Lamb is trying to get back next week. Of course, we'll hear from the coordinators and Schottenheimer. Well, coordinators tomorrow, Schottenheimer Friday, to get that confirmation. But it
Today,
seems
right?
like
It's Thursday.
oh, today's Thursday. Goodness,
It's
wow.
okay. No, it's okay. It's okay.
Wow, that's great.
No,
Today's the day.
Yeah, today's the day we hear from coordinators. Then we hear from Shotty tomorrow. Hopefully he will confirm that. But it does look like, what Aisha mentioned, those guys are trending in the right direction. But I feel like, as of right now, confidence level in the receiver room with what you got. What's it looking like?
It's pretty high, and I know we're going to get into this Panther secondary a little bit more today. I think the Cowboys can manage, especially with if they're able to run the ball, which may not be super easy against this team. But, yeah, I think they'll be all right.
Yeah.
I love how much, just hearing from Pickens yesterday, I know we'll hear from CD later today, most likely, because it's our Thursday for him. But even Cavante Turpin, who's not in, it feels like not only for themselves but for each other, and it feels light. It feels like kiddish high school type of energy, college culture that we were talking about. Just to see George Pickens kind of light up when he's talking about flow, right, and how the guys. Everyone is so happy, from the coaching staff. Like the other day, Schottenheimer talked about he's just so proud of him. He's so happy. He's worked so hard for this. We've talked about it, but to hear the guys he works and who are technically going against, be so happy for him. And then Cavante Turpin, he was hilarious yesterday. I know that video is posted on Dallas Cowboys YouTube. It's hilarious. His spirit, he's ready to be back on that field. But even I think on the sidelines, just seeing the offense click without him, be able to keep going. I think CD too, we'll hear from him, and we heard a little from last week as well. You see clips online of CD is like a proud dad. Like, he's so hyped, and he's like, that's a touchdown, before it's even happening for Flo, for Pickens. And I think that's just the difference this year in the offense. Not saying that wasn't there last year, like rooting for each other, but it's so visible this year. It's contagious, and it seems like cliche, but honestly, like we just had a good time just listening to Pickens and just how everything's clicking. And yes, it's early, and they're kind of like, they don't want to toot their own horn because it is very early in the season, but also like look what we're doing, right? So I'm excited. I'm excited to hear from Dak what he has to say later on. But this is good stuff offensively. Like I could talk about the Cowboys offense all day because it's fun.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go
ahead.
You got to.
Okay.
Your head coach seems fun.
Mm-hmm.
Even him clapping back yesterday, and just like some of his vibe, and just listen to him break down how he looks at offense. I was like, he gets it, and that's exciting. And I think say what you want to say, but players know. Players know what works in the league. They be watching games. They be playing Madden. They know They know what works offensively in this game. And even when I had the opportunity to be in the locker room, conversations I've had with offensive players, they're confident because again, they know the trends of the league. They know what's effective, and Schottenheimer is really implementing some of the more positive things that are done in the NFL on the offensive side of the ball. And I think that that's also what you're seeing. And then the input as well. They're allowed to input. Even on sides of the sideline, you saw that them Pickens and Dak building a connection is that you got a quarterback that's playing at this level that he can see stuff. You guys can come together. Dak tells Pickens, just run. Because he's like, I know that you're going to get this one-on-one, and I know you can beat this guy. And that's high-level offense. That's just being aware. And I think these guys are excited to just be playing at that level, like you were saying, Bree.
All right, well, let's go into Jack Sanborn.
Yeah.
Of course. That linebacker room. There you saw Shamar James, Maris Liufau, Kenneth Murray getting some work in yesterday together. Obviously, the team's prepping for if Jack Sanborn will not be there this week. So just talk about those guys. Do y'all like that group?
Huh?
Better?
What you say?
Do y'all like those three playing together?
Better
than Jack Sanborn manning the middle, and then Kenneth Murray.
So it's kind of hard because when you watch Jack Sanborn, it's not that like you can literally see him. You can see his eyes. You can see his helmet. You see him reading the plays. He just is not fast enough to get there actively. And then when you look at Murray, who's going to be running the mic, some of his processing, some of his decision making is not as quick triggered as you would like. And then you got the Nuggets, who just out there playing, running. And sometimes running into the wrong run lanes, or sometimes, the Cowboys have. They're one of the worst tackling teams in the NFL as well, and a lot of that's coming from the second level. They gotta, regardless of who's out there, they gotta be better tackling. They gotta take better angles. They gotta be. It's just that unit has room to improve. I will say that I think that the younger guys might be helpful right now because even if they make mistakes, at least they fast enough.
Yeah, and Schottenheimer, he literally talks about it. Feels like every single week they got to be better at the second level. They got to be better at tackling. And it's like at some point, like, where's the change? And you saw the change. It was a forced change because Sanborn went out. But it did. We talked about that too, and it happened when Christy was here. I know she's on the sideline, right? Like a little closer than all of us are. And just the feeling of the defense, the flow of it. Yes, there's those mistakes. But I think Maris, like, just to see him change the tempo of the game.
He at least makes plays.
Wonders, yes.
Yes.
You didn't see the bonehead penalties like you did the week before, where it was like we were rooting for him, and then it was just like what was going on out there. And it's sitting there listening to Eberflus talk every Thursday. It's a question that comes up literally every week. Like, okay, when does Maris get more snaps? What are you seeing from? What do you need to see more from, Shamar James to get out there or what have you? Do you still have faith in Sanborn? Like, that comes up every time, and he does. Like, he talks about him playing well and leading the guys, like Aisha said, but it does feel like he's always just like a half tick behind of what actually is going on in the field. And I feel like every time I'm looking at my sheet, again, I have a different view from the press box, and I'm looking down like, okay, who was that? And it's always him. I feel like I'm just like,
well, because teams have been attacking
out there more
you.
Too, so it's like,
Yeah, teams have been attacking you, but to your point, I think it's a trust thing, and also too, he just knows the calls, and that's awesome, but how valuable it's to Nicole's point. I think it's one of those questions of, yes, he knows the plays, but if he's not making plays,
How beneficial is it?
How beneficial is it? I mean, at this point, I ain't even gonna hold you. I know we're gonna talk about the safety room, but you might be better suited having one of those safeties out there doing some things in the run game. I mean, I almost would rather see Marquise Bell in some of these instances in the middle of the defense.
And not saying
even
it's
though he's
good.
light in the butt, he still can make plays.
Not saying it's good that anyone gets hurt. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying
Oh,
that their
absolutely not.
hand is forced. And I feel like Eberflus wanted to stick with this guy. So since their hand is forced with injuries, and if I think this is what you get, this is what you see. So like what Schottenheimer said, just because someone gets injured, that doesn't mean that their job is gone, but it also doesn't mean that their job stays. So I think it's going to make it interesting. And injuries force hands, and we got through the people who didn't practice, right? That list is long. So
My
here
God.
it is. Next man up.
My Lord.
All right.
I know.
What's the limited
Like a
list
2-pager.
looking like, Aisha?
Oh, okay. So Christy told us she tell us that it's something wrong with her. Christy tells us that if guys are limited on Wednesday, that's typically a positive sign. It's a good start. So limited. Deron Bland, he dealt with a shoulder issue during the game last week. He made a tackle, and it seemed like that was bothering him a little bit. He was limited. Jadeveon Clowney, hip limited. No, like that.
Not the hip.
Johnny Cornelius is dealing with a knee, the tackle, rookie tackle. He was limited. Trayvon Diggs, knee limited. Tyler Guyton, tackle. He's dealing with the concussion coming out of hopefully he's gonna be out of concussion protocol. He was limited. Sounds like he's trending in the right direction to play. James Houston, defensive end, knee limited. Marshawn Nealon, ankle limited. Miles Sanders, running back, knee/ankle limited. And Tyler Smith, knee limited. Wanya Thomas, ankle limited. So it's a lot of limits in this place.
Yeah, I think for me it's I don't even know. For me it's everybody, of course, but this is the second week now. Marshawn Nealon's been on this injury report, obviously missing time last week, gave Donovan Ezeraku some more snaps, and the rookie took advantage. Talk about him. I mean, obviously he had kind of shown some promise throughout training camp, really played well throughout the first 3 weeks, of the season. Talk about him and just kind of how detrimental is that, or are you still confident, or are you confident in what Ezeraku can bring to you and the other defensive end room?
I mean, I'm disappointed for Marshawn Nealon because I felt like even coming out of college, you looked at the run stopping ability, you looked at the physicality. He's a guy that I feel like you can move inside sometimes if you need to, and he just has not been able to stay healthy enough to string together multiple games. And at that defensive end position, you're reading also too. You're on an island, you're reading, you have to be able to dissect in the run game and those things. And so he needs that experience. I also think that he is one of your best run defending ends, and you not having him out there, we go back to the conversation about Shotty at the beginning of the week, talking about how James Houston is fantastic as a pass rusher. However, he is a little bit undersized in the run. So now you're in a position to where maybe you have to put guys out there that you're not as comfortable with on rundowns. You having them out there because guys like Nealon, who you feel more comfortable with, aren't out there. So this is a bummer for him. And the expectations that I even had for him coming out of college, I want him to really build upon. He never gets to build upon his good games.
I know.
He just keeps every single time he's like, okay, he's getting, the hang of things, and then he has an injury. So hopefully this injury bug doesn't stick with him, because I do think he is a end that they look forward to have here in the future. I mean, it's just his second year in his rookie contract. So I'm a little bummed for him, and I'm a little bummed that he's still dealing with injuries. Hopefully he'll be able to get on the field this week. What you got, Bree?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the people you mentioned as limited, these are like names that, like the Deron Blands, Trayvon Diggs, even Tyler Guyton. I know he's in concussion protocol this week, but he's one that typically sticks on the Wednesday limited ones. And like you said, this is Nealon's second year. This is Guyton's second year. So it's something to definitely keep an eye on. Clowney, I'm kind of laughing with the hip. That sounds like an age thing, but that's our guy though.
Probably.
But I'm just like, I mean, they're banged up, and it's only going into week 6. But for Marshawn Nealon, I remember sitting with him down in his rookie season, and that was his main thing. That was when Zimmer was here. He said he wanted to prove that he could be a pass rusher. Like, that's been something he's working on. Like you said, when he got that big injury last year, he was rolling, so that was hard to see. But he was in place, got to start over Sam Williams. So I think that's kind of a testament there to what the coaches are seeing from him, want from him. So you're hoping that he's able to take that next step. But Donovan Ezaraku is someone who I was going to make my way to today because there were so many defensive guys, like we were just running back and forth that were talking yesterday, and he was one of the guys that we didn't get to talk to or hear from yesterday. But he's getting a lot of praise from the coaches. I know he'll be asked about from Eberflus, so interested to see what he sees, from the DC side, because Schottenheimer had nothing of good things to say. But I mean, we know that's a room that needs the most work when you're looking at that D line. So you're hoping they can stay healthy, and Nealon definitely is a big part of that group.
Yeah, it sucks for Nealon too, because hearing from him in training camp, he was telling me how he really took the time this offseason to kind of like take care of his body. He went to Arizona to get like stem cells and things like that, and work one-on-one with the trainer. I forget the name, so I don't want to blurt out somebody's name wrong. But yeah, he worked with the trainer one-on-one just to kind of get fit, get physically right. And so, yeah, it is still unfortunate that he is dealing with some injuries, and hopefully it's not too serious where he will be potentially missing some more time, but definitely don't want to miss too much time, because when you do have a guy like Donovan Ezaraku who is taking advantage of his opportunities, and, like Shadi had mentioned, granted, you don't necessarily give away a starter's role, but it's all about competing here. So we'll see. Miles Sanders, knee, ankle, he's battled injuries throughout his career as well. Something that he was kind of...
They've been battling since Oxnard for us.
That too, yeah. Thoughts on the running back situation as a whole, just because, one, you have a guy like Javonte Williams who is your workhorse, right? But you still need to find that balance. I think it was Shadi who talked about it last week or earlier this week about kind of making sure that they're not wearing him down too much or too early in the season. But just talk about the guy that you need to step up. Obviously, it's a Jaden Blue, but, I mean, you still have a Phil Maffa who they have on this roster that maybe you can try to figure some things out and bring him up. What y'all think?
You better do something.
Okay.
I mean, you better do...
Mother.
You better do something.
You better do something with that room. That's all. That's all I heard.
You better do something. I mean, this running back room, and it sounds like when you're listening to Coach Schottenheimer, he understands the efficiency that you're getting out of the run game with Javonte Williams, and then he also understands that you got to, like, he's in a position where he almost just has to play him, because I mean, you're trying to play keep away also too, have some sustained drives and stuff like that, and score, because you know what your defense is. This head coach knows that. So it's like he's in a tough spot to where I'm sure he wants to give him some breathers, but you almost can't risk it at this point because no one else has been available or actually having, positive impact on that side of the ball when it comes to the running back room. Jadon Blue's not on the injury report. That's good, I guess. Hopefully, you got to do something to try to balance out his touches. I'm not saying to just be taking touches from him, but my gosh, I don't know. It feels weird. I mean, bell cows don't exist. I mean, and Shotty called him the bell cow. He said he's the bell cow right now, and that doesn't exist like that in this league anymore as much for a reason. I ain't trying to see the reason.
Please.
I'm not trying to see it.
Well, he was asked, like Nicole said, about how he's being used. Because I brought it up a couple days ago, and I was surprised how much he was still being fed when the game was pretty much where it needed to be. I was in the fourth, he was like still getting. I was like, why are we still like, let's bubble wrap them. Let's bubble wrap him a bit. But Schottenheimer said up to this point, he's been comfortable on how and what they use. I was like, okay. Yeah, and then he did. I know Jaden Blue's stats didn't. He talked about that, how they don't, they're not reading like he had this great game, but he said like he had executed his assignments, what he was asked to do. We saw him in the special teams, got a little good return.
Had a nice return, yeah.
Field position there. So it feels like whatever they were looking for from him, they got. And I saw them actually, they were when Schottenheimer came in, I saw him and Jaden Blue come into the locker room at the same time.
Oh.
And you could see him give him like a little nudge, like a proud dad, whatever. So despite what the stats say, my point is that Jaden Blue to Schottenheimer's expectations met him. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's out there again, especially if Miles Sanders is still nicked up. But I do think even though Miles Sanders wasn't getting, the bulk of the carries, I think he did what you wanted your second running back to do. So
he was efficient when he did get the ball.
I don't think they're in a rush for the Phil Maffa look, even if others are. But I mean, it's nice to know that Phil Maffa's in the pocket and necessary, hopefully healing up. I know he was dealing with obviously an injury, getting on IR early in the season. So
all right, Deron Bland on this limited list, shoulder, but like Chrissy said, Wednesday,
He fine.
Typically, okay.
Good.
He on that list every week.
Yeah, it's kind of sick.
Yeah.
They just trucking him along.
Yeah, I hope that he can sustain and hopefully just continue to build he's similar to Nealon almost in that sense is that
Corners are nicked.
Yeah, he's similar to Nealon almost is that he hasn't had consecutive games where he's played since even at the end of last year he was coming off of surgery, trying to integrate into that defense. And so we're just trying to get, my gosh, what is it going to take to get these units out there consistently and for some of these guys to, build upon their performances the week before and stuff. So, yeah,
Well, amongst those other lists, Tyler Smith, Wanye Thomas, James Houston. Yeah, the list is lengthy. So long story short, hopefully these guys are fine. We'll hear from the coordinators today to confirm. And if not, we'll hear from, of course, Schottenheimer tomorrow. And I'm sure he will confirm the status on these guys. We're going to take our first break here on Girls Talk, Boys Talk, and we'll be right back with some more.
How does the cheerleader's hair always look so perfect? We asked, and they shared one of their biggest beauty secrets. If you want hair like theirs and confidence to match, use Babyliss Pro styling tools. The Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders use Babyliss Pro curling irons to get those perfect game day curls. To get the hair you see on the cheerleaders, head to BabylissPro.com. Use the code Cowboys20 for 20% off Babyliss Pro tools, the official styling tools of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Get the discount while it lasts. Offer may be withdrawn at any time at advertiser's discretion.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
All right, Cowboys fans, this one's for us. If the men in your life bleed blue and silver like we do, I've found the perfect way to elevate their game day rituals. Gillette just released their best razor in Cowboys colors, and it is everything a Cowboys fan could want. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor combines his Cowboys pride with Gillette's best shave. And with 50% longer lasting blades, it is truly the gift that keeps on giving. Get it while you can at Gillette.com/NFL. Gillette's best shave is also available as heated.
Cowboys Nation limited single game tickets are available right now. Get ready to bring the noise as you watch your Cowboys live at AT&T Stadium when they host NFC East rivals Eagles and Commanders, plus the Chiefs, Chargers, Vikings, and Cardinals. Visit DallasCowboys.com/tickets or SeatGeek.com, the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Welcome back to Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign in the SWBC studio. Nicole Hutchison, Brianna Aldridge, Aisha Morrison, your favorites of all time. Just had to throw that out there. All right. Carolina held Miami to its second lowest rushing total in franchise history last week, ladies. Gross. Absolutely gross. 14 yards on design runs is what they held Miami to. Their run stuffs, 6 of the 13 run stuffs, happened before or at the line of scrimmage. throw up. Yeah. So what makes this defense so tough against the run, despite their ranking being in the middle of the pack statistically?
Well, I think it's the fact that they went on first and second down, and they were able to do that last week. And I listened to their head coach talk about how that really helped them be able to get off the field and to be efficient. And so I think it's important the last couple of weeks when you look at the Dallas Cowboys, they haven't been as efficient on first and second down. They were in a lot of third and long situations last week. I didn't like it at all. And so Dallas has to do better at. I know Shoddy has thrown more on first down. We've seen him mix it up a little bit more, but last week it was a lot of run heavy on first down, or even with the passes, it wasn't efficient. So they have to be efficient on first and second down and not give this Panthers defensive unit the opportunity to rush the passer. I mean, they're not that efficient at it, but they can get some interior push, and I think that made the difference for them last week.
Yeah, they were definitely dog walking the offensive line. I don't know Miami's situation, if injuries are they just kind of Miami's a hot mess overall. Like that's just what it is.
Yeah.
But Schottenheimer mentioned it yesterday. He brought up the name Derek Brown. That's the name that we're gonna be talking about here shortly. He was ragdolling them throughout the game, and just like if you watch the highlights, they were just dominating at the line of scrimmage and giving them absolutely nothing. And that's what I saw mostly coming from that game. But yeah, like looking at the stats, it's crazy. Y'all.
Yeah,
Crazy.
It's kind of wild. Especially
Don't do that to us.
No, but it's unfortunate because now we're granted the other four not backups, I'll say. So second team aside from Terrence Steele, offensive linemen, they stepped in and Shoddy, everybody's talked about, the fact that typically when that happens, you don't have success as an offense, like keeping it a buck. And this offense, the Cowboys offense, was able to find some success against the Jets last week. But this Panthers defensive front, Bobby Brown, Ashawn Robinson, Derek Brown, they've got a couple of linebackers and specifically also some corners that can come in and tackle as well. Talk about that defensive front, though, because this is now another task for your offensive line who – granted, you saw some dogs up front with Quentin Williams and Phillips last week. But now you get another testing like this. What's the confidence level in those guys? Do you feel like they'll be able to manage?
I feel like the confidence is high because, everybody across the league is talking about how good
They need to stop talking about it.
The O-line is.
I need them to hush.
They're talking about what you've been hitting on all offseason, the luxury we have at the O-line, and not just that, the ability for, Clayton Adams to come in here and scheme with what he's got and knowing what these guys are specializing in and what these guys don't, what they can stop and making it not be an exposed. And then obviously Dak Prescott, again, he's the reason why everything looks as great as it does. I don't know if another quarterback comes in here and it looks the same. This is a return home game for Mr. Brock Hoffman, who's been playing pretty adequately, holding it down. So I'm expecting the hometown kid to show out in front of the Panthers crowd there. But I think it's going to be, again, Derek Brown show and who's going to shut him down. The big talk last week with the interior was Quentin Williams, and that wasn't an issue for this offensive line. So if anything, that gives me the confidence. Quentin Williams was a guy we talked about you have to prepare for on every down, which is what Schottenheimer called not uncharacteristic of what you typically have to do. I think Derek Brown is another one. And so I'm confident because of what I saw last week.
Yeah, Ashawn Robinson is also one of their edges. I think that he's able to, disengage and make some tackles in the run as well. So, I'm not super terrified of their linebackers. And let me tell you,
They be struggling.
yeah, they'll help in the run, but maybe in the pass. So that brings me to my second point is that we know that Dallas's identity, a lot of what they want to do is run the ball. They want to set up play action. They want to be able to, Shoddy had a dope breakdown yesterday about marrying the run to the pass and why that's important and to not be predictable in doing so. This is a defense that I think you obviously run the ball to keep them true. But, baby, you can pass that thing. I expect to see with their linebackers and coverage, I think you also, too, tight ends, they have struggled against tight ends. Especially in the red zone. So maybe we see, Dallas be able to take advantage there and attack in the middle of the field with the tight ends. So in regard to and what there's going on with their defensive line is that they're not rushing the passer entirely well. They were able to get to Miami 3 times last week. That's almost more than what they have the whole season. And I think a lot of that had to do with, it's hard to decipher, what's this team, the opponent, and what this unit is. But this unit has been better against the run this year.
Those 3 sacks against Miami, 2 of those came from interior guys, and I think that's where I get confidence.
It's very important, yeah.
We're looking at our side as well. And then the linebacker room, they actually made a little switch last week with their green dot, which is interesting.
Talk about it.
Mr. Roseboom's kind of been struggling in coverage, and like you said, to the tight ends, okay, they've been very much exposed. So he's the 5-year vet, so they did kind of what we did with Sanborn. The veteran gets the green dot automatically, and they actually made that switch with Trevin Wallace, the second-year linebacker there. He took over. I was listening to Coach's post game conference, and he was talking about how he felt like that allowed Rosewood to go over there and play a little bit more free, going side to side. So it looks like something they're going to continue. But it sounds like they know they're struggling there, so they're making changes on the fly as well. We know what our issue is on defense. So I'm interested to see what Mr. Trevin Wallace seems. They seem like they have a lot of confidence in him.
Yeah. Aisha made a good point about Shadi talking about marrying the run in the past and how he kind of pretty much said that, we don't want to have no scouting giveaways, no tells.
Yeah.
And there's, oh my goodness, my handwriting is so bad. But basically, we're in the gun. We don't want to let them know that we're throwing it or running it or vice versa, but just not really being able to disguise their looks a lot better. And obviously, this identity of this team is wanting to run the football through Javonte Williams, open up the pass. What should be the offensive emphasis early, though? Should it be test the run defense or challenge their cornerbacks? What do y'all think?
I don't tater tots. I think they're gonna run the ball, y'all.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if that's. I think they're gonna run the ball.
You stressed about that.
Because you could pass the ball, of course. There are, places to take advantage, and maybe you run the ball with the way how kind of people are running the ball with you, with the attacking the flats and, getting the running backs involved in the receiving game, like a Javonte and things like that, attacking their linebackers that way where it's not running the ball, but it is technically running the ball in a sense. Maybe even set up the screen game because that's something your defense is struggling with that. They have struggled with that as well. I just feel like Dave Canellis, their head coach, he actually did mention that they're trying to pick up on tells, that they're trying to pick up on some of the things that they see Dallas do because they understand that Dallas can have, this is the value of having a balanced attack. Is that coaches are struggling, and we don't even know what they're going to come out and do. I don't know what the best thing to do against this defensive line is, but I wouldn't just be running up against a brick wall. I wouldn't be doing that. Please. I think that you could definitely, obviously Dallas is taking an uptick in misdirection and stuff like that. Obviously mix that in, get some of these guys going east to west. So for me, yeah, just be efficient on first and second down because they don't rush the passer well. We already know that. But you can they will take advantage of opportunities to rush the passer if you give it to them.
Yeah, I like the sentiment of the locker room yesterday.
What did they?
It's a Rico. It was a Rico day. That's what it was.
What's all this talking?
It was, and Schottenheimer back there, he's like, we have a lot of respect for Rico. We talked about bringing him back, but ultimately we went with Javonte Williams. So is Javonte Williams better? I don't know. We'll see. And that left me with a little cliffhanger. So that was the question all through every single person in the locker room is the comments made by Rico Dowdle talking about they need to buckle up and things like that. And everybody was pretty chill on their response besides Kenny Clark, which is hilarious.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Kenny was standing on business. He said he must not see us. He must
don't
not be
play.
watching the tape. Kenny's hilarious.
Yeah.
But
about
I feel like I'm more excited to see the running backs who's going to show out more because I feel like they've just been talking a little bit of smack both these weeks. But I think establishing the run is just the key for this game, like I thought it was last week, because when you're looking at the DBs, I think there is, Taisha's point, a couple places where you can expose outside of J.C. Horn. Pickens talked about him yesterday and what that matchup looks like and what type of corner he is, and but Mike Jackson is a guy who I noted he ain't doing so good. He's getting pretty exposed, and he got very much exposed. I think he gave up a 42-yard chunk play to Waddle last week that ended up in a touchdown. His overall grade is 42.5 in coverage. Like he's struggling, and I feel like that's kind of what we saw last week. There was like one strong corner, and then everybody else was just kind of like, so who's going to be following and where the weak spots are going to be. But I think the best part about this offense and what Pickens was asked about is like how much does Javonte Williams do when he does help you guys? He's like, it's everything. So I think keeping them on their toes, again, mixing up some of these receivers in the pass game as well. I think everything is going the way the Cowboys want. So really, Shotty could come out slinging the ball, but I do feel like he's going to start establishing the run. It just makes the most. It's what he's kind of been doing for recipes of success here.
I want to say that Mike Jackson was. Michael Jackson was drafted by the Cowboys in the 5th round in 2019.
I did not know that.
So it was a little bit of a revenge game for him, too, because they was like,
he ain't getting no revenge on nobody else so far this season.
you're going to jail.
Hey.
The door.
She's going to jail.
I just want to say.
She's going to jail. But in regard, another point about this this Panthers defense is that they've allowed 24 points in how many games they played? 1, 2, 3, carry the 2. 5 and 4 out of the 5 games that they have played. Also, too, they will give up a lot of passing yards. I mean, they gave up 250 to a Miami offense that has been struggling. The second part of it that makes me happy inside.
What is it, girl?
Please.
Is that the Panthers run zone at the second highest clip in the NFL.
Oh.
You know what they second to? Guess. Who they second to?
Who? Us.
It's killing me.
We're first.
It hurts inside.
Yeah.
So they're second, and guess who has the second highest passer rate?
Dak Prescott.
You're good.
Ding, 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 ding.
You're killing it right now.
Let's go.
80% completion rate, 6 touchdowns. I mean, Dak Prescott has been nails against zone coverages. And if you're not able to get pressure on him consistently, he's going to make you pay. So to your point, Nicole, how you were asking, like, what do you think Dallas is going to do? I think they're going to run the ball to keep him honest and to play keep away. But if they think that they just going to drive back and play vision defense, the quarterback's going to make them pay, and that makes me happy inside. So I expect for Dallas to maybe be aggressive and attacking this Panthers secondary. However, I will say the Panthers have been a better team at home, undefeated at home. They are obviously trying to build some momentum. We might see them change it up a little bit. I'm not sure, but they playing against Cowboys. PB, like, let's try this. So that's something that I think is important when we're talking about, is Dallas going to run the ball more? Are they going to pass the ball more? Baby, there should be grass for the quarterback. It should be opportunity for the quarterback and the receivers.
All right. Well, we're going to take our second break here on Girls Talk, Boys Talk. Keep breaking down this matchup up next, and we'll be right back.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
How does the cheerleader's hair always look so perfect? We asked, and they shared one of their biggest beauty secrets. If you want hair like theirs and confidence to match, use Babyliss Pro styling tools. The Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders use Babyliss Pro curling irons to get those perfect game day curls. To get the hair you see on the cheerleaders, head to BabylissPro.com. Use the code Cowboys20 for 20% off Babyliss Pro tools, the official styling tools of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Get the discount while it lasts. Offer may be withdrawn at any time at advertiser's discretion.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
The countdown to game day starts with Rally Days presented by SeatGeek. Get a behind-the-scenes look at AT&T Stadium, meet the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders and alumni, play games, win prizes, and more. Get your tickets for the next Rally Day on October 18th at AT&TStadium.com/rallydays.
Woo! Get
Woo-woo.
your tickets or else.
Woo-woo.
Welcome back into Girls Talk Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign. Nicole Hutchison, Brianna Aldridge, Aisha Morrison. Ladies, when you're looking at the tape, where's the biggest schematic mismatch you see? Is it receivers versus their DBs? Is it our interior offensive line against the Panthers front? Is it Dak versus their coverage disguise? I don't know. What is it? ¿Qué pasa?
Honestly, I would say it's the quarterback against their secondary.
Okay.
I mean, I know the offensive line, like we would say, sure, but again, this is not a Panthers defensive line that has rushed the passer at a high clip or been successful really doing that. And the zone coverage they play on the back end ain't helping them either. It's so funny looking at the man in the mirror, huh?
Please.
Because that's what I was thinking when I was watching them last night was like, oh, their secondary is struggling because they're not getting pressure with 4, but they're not really willing to change up much on that side either. So I think it would be your quarterback's good against zone, and they play a lot of zone. Your offensive line can hold up. They don't pressure that much. I think it's your offense, passing offense against their defense is probably the biggest mismatch to me. What you got, Bree?
Panthers are 30th in the league in pressure for a reason. Like Aisha just said, there's a couple weak spots that I think Dak Prot. What am I doing here?
We knew what you were saying.
We got it.
I had faith.
It was coming out.
But I was. She stole mine when I was thinking about Dak. But Dak is just reading the field unbelievably, unbelievably. But I guess I'll go with my second one. Aisha, you mentioned it. They're struggling with the tight ends in general, and guess what? We got a tight end who's kind of on a comeback here. Is he gonna find the end zone again?
I know he didn't even.
He's just showing off now.
He didn't even know to do this up on that screen. He was like, first of all, what is up with all these? George Pickens gets on this team and they got all the dances. He said he had
I don't know,
40 handshakes. That was a question. He's like, yeah. He's like, someone said, do you remember all of them? And then he's like, what's the one you do with Dak? And he went like this. And they're like, somebody said, what does this mean? He's like, it's my number 3. And I was like, all right, wrap this up.
I quit.
Bro, we were laughing so hard. But like I said, Pickens is having fun. And someone also asked yesterday, is this just being here? He's like, I'm always having fun on the field. I was having fun where I was at. But the narrative was I wasn't having fun. And I was just like, he's still on business here as well. It's fun to watch, y'all.
Yeah, their safeties will come up and help tackle in the run game too. I don't know which one of you ladies mentioned that, but their DBs will come up and help tackle in the run game too. So to your point, like the tight ends and Brevis Ford is a guy that I think, in regard to what Bree's point is, if you want to get another tight end involved, I think this will be a good time to kind of acclimate another tight end into the receiving game. We haven't seen much from Schoonmaker.
We say this every week, and they haven't.
We haven't seen much
week
because they're blocking. It's because
Very much so.
it's because they're chipping and blocking and all that stuff. But maybe since the Panthers are not a team that gets a crap ton of pass rush, maybe this is a game where you don't have to come in and chip and have your running backs and stuff have to help so much with these tackles. Maybe you can get, some down the field shots to your tight ends in this game. You need to. Now, I mean, you take what you can get, because they're still finding out ways to attack the middle of the defense with the slants, with the crossers, with the overs. Like, they're still figuring out ways, but man, that seam is there for the taking, and I really hope that they figure out how to get it. Hopefully, we see a touchdown with that seam ball this week.
Why you do it like that?
Is that it?
Because that's how it be looking. Because it'd be like it's a straight line pass, and your quarterback throws it better than almost any quarterback in the league right now.
Very true.
Need a tight end to hold on to it, though. One of them. But yeah, tight ends, girl, I see you. You was seeing it. See what I seen? Don't film too. Come on, girl.
A lot of hoes.
Well, tomorrow we're going to dive more into the film. We got Christy Scales joining the show on Fridays, every Friday and Monday. But that's a wrap for today's show. For Brianna Aldridge, Aisha Morrison, I'm Nicole Hutchison. We'll see y'all back here tomorrow.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?